We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, doing a full transition from the rip area to the dip area today, and then towards the end of the day, jumping back up from the dip to the rip. And within today's volatility, our SPY bot at 3:15 p.m. sent out a bull indicator, and from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside. Full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 200% plus within minutes. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge over the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, receiving this clarity and edge by using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So the SPY had some volatility here, rejecting off certain resistance and supports. We're going to look at what inflow versus outflow is showing, but before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations, and if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge over the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord, and by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run of the day was from our Netflix bot. Our Netflix bot sent out a bull indicator since 10:35 a.m. and from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside. Full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 300% plus within an hour, guys. And if you guys want to receive this clarity and edge over the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, doing a full transition on 42 vision from white with red borders, the dip area as I like to call it, to bright green bars, the rip area, and a full transition back down today. And in the last several minutes to hours of the day, it did a full transition from the dip to the rip. And for those of you coming across the channel for the first time, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips to the rips and the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here, and you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY under a bull indicator here towards the end of the day. Full transition from dip area to rip area, and inflows cross back over. Now we're going to break down what's going on here within the supports and resistance, as well as what's going on multiple time frames. So here we are with the 30-minute with those inflows crossing back over, and there's been a lot of volatility the last several days, hitting dip areas back here on December 22nd, rip area on the 27th, full transition back down from the 27th to the 28th, full transition back up from the 28th to the 29th, and here we are with another full transition from the dip to the rip, as well as from the rip to the dips, right? So as I've stated in previous videos, the volatility is here to stay, not financial advice, just my opinion and perspective alone. And within it, there's a lot of opportunity to learn and grow and maximize on the opportunities presented within the chart's volatility. So here we are, the 30-minute trying to come back up towards that resistance that we broke down yesterday, and finding support here multiple times and finally breaking back above it at 380, and it hit lows here of 378, and we talked about that 378 to 377 area as a lower support within this chop, right? And we keep on coming back up towards the 383 and 385 area and rejecting multiple times here within the week. But now here we are going into next week. Could it break through that resistance? That's the big question mark. And we need to talk about what I would watch here with the inflow versus outflows and these charts. Now within the volatility on the 15-minute, things were pretty weak for most of the day. and the outflows dominated until they finally crossed back over here towards the end of the day, as you see there, and a bull indicator popped up at around 379, and things ran up within just minutes to 383, and the strength of those inflows are right now at 3.05. I would watch if these inflows could stay above the midpoint, or will they come back down to retest the midpoint or cross it, and if it stays above it, it could be the start of a staircase effect into multiple time frames. Now, we looked at 2-hour time frame yesterday, and this is important because in the bigger picture, the inflows were coming pretty close to the midpoint, and look what happened. They finally crossed over, and that's critical because a bull indicator popped up at around 378 yesterday, and look, it found support right around that area. While these inflows were coming closer to the midpoint, they finally crossed, and inflows right now are at 2.09, and it's one of the highest points that we've seen in days and weeks. Now, the most recent high was up here at 4.4, so based off the history of the chart, it has room to go higher, and I would watch that and not overlook it or ignore it. If not, pay close attention to it. Even though it's not guaranteed to react exactly the same, something to not ignore. Now on the 1 hour, same thing here. There's strength there in the chart. Within the volatility and chop, it got a bull indicator and inflows are back above the midpoint. I would watch if it could pull away from the midpoint to the upside, and currently it's at 0.94. And the recent highs yesterday was around 3.2. So something to keep in mind as well. And I would watch that going into next week. Now, here we are on the 30-minute. And the first support that I would watch is 380, as we've talked about before. And if that gets broken through, the next support is 377. And below 377 is 375, being that lowest point that we've seen here on December 22nd, when outflows went as high as negative 8.94, and inflows right now are at 3.44 on the charts of the 30-minute chart frame. Now, here we are at the 383 mark, and the first resistance I would watch above that is 385, and if that gets broken through, the big rejection here that we saw on December 21st, which is up here at 387, and inflows hit highs of 4.82. Something to keep in mind there as well, that I would watch very closely here going into next week. Now, if 387 gets broken through, the next resistance above that would be the 390 mark, and 393 area is a historical level of support that we've seen back here before things broke down. We used to refer to that since that big inflow here on November 10th, followed by that bull indicator when things went up from 374 to 390, 392 area. It was fighting, and it finally broke it here back on December 15th. So that is a critical area to the upside if we can start that staircase effect, and these inflows can pick up on multiple time frames and stay above the midpoint, because on the 15-minute, within the volatility, it just crossed back over. It seems to have slowed down. It's going to be critical for it to go higher, and same thing on the 30-minute, the 2 hours up, the 1 hour as well. But when you zoom out to the even bigger picture, the 4 hour just crossed, guys. But the last time that happened was on December 22nd, and then it crossed right back down, and that was that big drop from 385 to 375, 374 area. So this is the first time that inflows cross on this larger time frame in days and weeks, and it's going to be critical for this bear indicator to get canceled, and in the process for a bull indicator to pop up. Those are the key levels I'll be watching. I'm going to be watching these inflow versus outflows and bull and bear indicators. And as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.